and it was all done by email. I was initially disappointed that I didn't hear back from any Muslims or New Age priests or priestesses in that regard. But once I really looked at what Steve said, I realized that his answers were very close representation of America today and probably a lot of the world. Uh, Steve is a self-defined pagan. Pagan being a very old religious system, if there is indeed any system in that particular belief system. But some of Steve's responses were quite interesting, and I actually appreciated some of them. He was quite open and candid in his responses, and without making fun of. He knew I was coming from a Christian standpoint, and he didn't make any fun of that. He just answered straightforward what he believed, and I appreciated that aspect of it. Um, one of his principles that he lives by is the golden rule, which is a wonderful thing to live by, and often we as Christians fail in that department, um, treating others as we would like to be treated, and it's a good principle of life to to live by, and it was spoken by Jesus himself. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So there's nothing wrong with that aspect, and his aspect of suffering being a way to help others that are suffering, because you can empathize with them and understand their issues and maybe help them through it, is another tenet of, I would say, Christian faith, and that we often our own trials in life have been a help and encouragement to others who are going through similar circumstances. Um, where he deviates quite a bit and falls into a postmodern or pluralistic viewpoint is in how he sees Jesus of Nazareth and how he sees the Bible itself. Jesus he described basically as a conglomeration. He admits he doesn't know, but feels that it could be that Jesus that we read about in the New Testament was just a conglomeration of a number of people, all poured into one person. And so that shows that there's been no study or research that validates the life of Jesus of Nazareth beyond what the Gospels tell us. The second part, the Bible, he views basically as a bunch of men who edited out the things they didn't like, that didn't fit their particular worldview, and that it was just a bunch of 12th century men editing texts from the 2nd to the 4th century. This negates all of the research, all of the scrutiny of the details of the documents that we have. And this part pains me because I've read a lot about that stuff and read a lot of authors in my own apologetics personal study because I'm interested and intrigued with that part of the world or that part of our faith system. And Steve and a lot of people like him will just fall into the trap that the world says is that, this is just an all bunch of made up, man made stuff, and don't bother to do the research for it. The problem with that is that, and one of my arguments to many people has been, why would you seek out specialized advice from doctors, lawyers, dentists, car repairmen, home repairmen, and the like, to take care of our temporary needs, but never seek out the advice of an expert in the religious world. You would rather just go with what your gut feels when it comes to an eternal matter, and that's kind of backwards in my viewpoint. It doesn't matter what the doctor says. While he can extend our life, he can't do anything about our eternal consequences. And so that part of the whole pagan belief system, or the pluralistic New Age under the title pagan, is really way off. in their viewpoint, at least they negate everything that all the research and everything that's been done into both Jesus of Nazareth, his life, death, resurrection, and the facts that abound in that department, and the scrutiny of the text itself, and how we can know that what we read is really what was written, or very close to it. So, but overall, it was a very enlightening interview, and I enjoyed doing it. Thanks.